Japan is home to some of the most dangerous tectonic plates on Earth. It sits directly on the Pacific Ring of Fire, a geological war zone where four massive continental and oceanic plates constantly grind against one another. Every year, Japan records thousands of earthquakes, yet when a massive tremor strikes, its towering skyscrapers don't shatter into rubble. Instead, they do something that looks entirely unnatural. They dance. They sway, bend, and flex, sometimes shifting meters in the sky before safely returning to their center. How is this possible? How does 500,000 tons of rigid steel, glass, and concrete stay upright when the ground beneath it moves like a violent, unpredictable liquid? For decades, the engineering world believed that the only way to survive an earthquake was to fight it with sheer strength. But Japan proved them wrong. Today, we decode the brilliant physics-defying secrets of seismic engineering. Welcome to Engineering Decoded X, Chapter 1, The Myth of Rigidity and the Resonance Trap. To understand how Japan saves its megastructures, we first have to understand how earthquakes destroy them. When tectonic plates slip, they release shock waves, P waves, and S waves that travel through the Earth, causing the ground to violently accelerate back and forth. According to Newton's second law, force equals mass times acceleration. A skyscraper has an immense amount of mass. When the ground violently accelerates, the lateral forces applied to the base of the building are catastrophic. In the early 20th century, engineers tried to combat this by making buildings as stiff and rigid as possible. They poured thicker concrete and bolted heavy steel frames deep into the bedrock. They wanted the building to be an immovable fortress. But rigidity has a fatal flaw. When a rigid structure is subjected to lateral forces, it cannot bend. Therefore, it breaks. It suffers from what engineers call brittle failure. Even worse is the phenomenon of resonance. Every physical object has a natural frequency, a specific rate at which it naturally vibrates. If the frequency of the earthquake's seismic waves matches the natural frequency of the building, the structure enters a state of resonance. The swaying amplifies, growing more and more violent with each second, until the structural integrity completely snaps. To survive the Earth's fury, engineers realized they couldn't fight the planet. They had to yield to it. They had to transition from absolute rigidity to calculated flexibility. The most effective way to protect a building from an earthquake is, logically, to stop the earthquake from entering the building in the first place. But how do you disconnect a massive skyscraper from the ground it rests on? The answer is a technology called base isolation. Instead of bolting the foundation directly to the earth, engineers place the entire building on top of massive, flexible shock absorbers. The most common type used in Japan is the lead rubber bearing. Imagine a massive cylinder over a meter wide. Inside this cylinder are alternating layers of steel plates and thick, durable rubber. The steel plates provide the vertical strength necessary to support the immense crushing weight of the skyscraper above. The rubber layers provide lateral flexibility, allowing the bearing to shear and slide horizontally. But there is a catch. If a building is too flexible, it will wobble uncontrollably like jelly and take too long to stop moving after the earthquake ends. To solve this, engineers place a solid plug of pure lead right down the center of the cylinder. Lead is a unique metal. Under extreme pressure, it undergoes plastic deformation. As the building violently sways, the lead core is stretched, bent, and squished. This process requires a massive amount of kinetic energy. The lead absorbs the destructive mechanical energy of the earthquake and converts it directly into heat. The result is pure engineering magic. During a massive quake, the ground might violently shift 50 centimeters back and forth, but the building sitting on the isolators barely moves at all. It effectively floats above the chaos. But base isolation isn't always enough, especially for ultra-tall structures like the 634-meter-tall Tokyo Skytree. As a building gets taller, the wind and the residual seismic waves cause the upper levels to whip back and forth. To solve this, modern Japanese engineers look to the past. For over 1,000 years, Japan has built wooden pagodas. Many of these ancient towers have survived centuries of brutal earthquakes without ever collapsing. Their secret? A central suspended wooden pillar called a Shinbashira. This massive trunk of wood runs down the center of the pagoda, but is not structurally attached to the floors. When the pagoda sways to the right during a quake, the heavy, free-hanging Shinbashira swings to the left. It acts as a massive counterweight, canceling out the movement. Modern engineers took this 800-year-old concept and applied it to the Tokyo Skytree. The core of the Skytree features a massive hollow concrete cylinder running down its center, entirely separate from the outer steel lattice frame. The core and the outer frame have different weights and different natural frequencies. When an earthquake hits, they sway at different rhythms. By connecting the two structures with hydraulic shock absorbers, they pull against each other, drastically reducing the tower's overall sway. It is ancient wisdom translated into modern physics. For traditional skyscrapers without a central core, engineers use another mind-bending technology, the tuned mass damper, or TMD. High up in the clouds, often near the very top floor of a skyscraper, engineers install a colossal pendulum. This is usually a solid steel or concrete ball, weighing anywhere from 300 to 1,000 tons, suspended by thick steel cables. When a seismic wave or a typhoon-force wind pushes the top of the skyscraper to the right, the building tilts. But the massive steel ball, due to the laws of inertia, wants to stay exactly where it is. As the building leans right, the heavy ball swings to the left, relative to the building. This creates a massive counterforce, physically dragging the building's center of mass back to the middle. It acts exactly like a tightrope walker holding a long, heavy pole. If the walker leans too far one way, they shift the pole the opposite way to restore balance. By perfectly tuning the weight of the ball and the length of the cables to match the building's specific natural frequency, engineers can reduce the sway of a skyscraper by up to 50%. It turns a terrifying, sickening sway into a gentle, controlled oscillation. Even with floating foundations and massive pendulums, the skeleton of the building still takes a beating. To protect the steel beams from tearing themselves apart, Japanese engineers lace the structural frame with energy dissipation devices. The most common are viscous oil dampers. These look exactly like the shock absorbers on your car, but on an industrial, colossal scale. They consist of a giant steel cylinder filled with thick, highly viscous silicone fluid and a tight-fitting piston. These dampers are installed diagonally between the columns and beams of the skyscraper. When the building flexes and distorts during an earthquake, the beams try to compress the damper. The piston is forced to push its way through the thick silicone fluid. Because the fluid resists being moved, it creates intense friction. The mechanical energy of the swaying building is forced into the fluid, heating it up. The building literally sweats out the earthquake's energy as pure thermal heat, stopping the steel skeleton from ever reaching its breaking point. From lead rubber bearings isolating the base, to 1,000-ton pendulums keeping the roof steady, and oil dampers absorbing the shock in between, a modern Japanese skyscraper is not just a building. It is a highly tuned reactive machine. This technology is no longer confined to Japan. From the earthquake-prone faults of California to the volatile zones of Turkey and Chile, these exact seismic innovations are being exported globally, retrofitting old structures and securing the skylines of the future. The history of construction used to be a story of man fighting nature. We tried to build walls thick enough and rigid enough to defy the planet, but Japan's engineers realized a profound truth. You cannot defeat the Earth. You can only survive it by moving with it. Engineering isn't just about reaching the clouds, it's about mastering the unstable ground beneath our feet. Which incredible engineering marvel should we decode next? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to Engineering Decoded X and join us as we continue to unlock the secrets of the modern world. Decode the impossible.